My name is James Blackman and I'm a technical diving instructor originally from Cornwall in England, now making my home in Miami, Florida. Technical diving is my passion because for me life is all about exploration, and as a technical diver we get to visit dive sites that very few divers get to see. The actual term technical diving was coined to describe any sport dive that goes deeper than established recreational limits, or staying longer at a given depth, or going further into an overhead environment such as a cave or a wreck. To do that, we use specialized equipment and advanced dive planning techniques. There's a lot of maths involved, which wasn't always my strong suit growing up, so I've had to adapt and overcome on that one. And then most tech divers fall into one of two categories. They're either a cave diver or a wreck diver, and I'm very much a wreck diver. For me, wreck diving is all about the history of the wrecks themselves and also the people that served on them. And it's also about the marine habitat that they create. You've got these beautiful pieces of maritime architecture just sitting on the bottom of the ocean, slowly decaying in salt water. And this creates new habitats and coral life and attracts other marine animals to come and inhabit what used to be a human domain. South Florida is my home now because we have an embarrassment of wreck dives here. Literally hundreds have been sunk off the south coast of Florida. And even though this is a tropical climate, that's the Atlantic Ocean behind me. And it's not unusual that we'll get down on a wreck dive to 100, 150 feet and just be hit by a thermocline, which is a horizontal layer of cold water at depth. And it just drops the temperature by like 30 or 40 degrees. So it can get pretty cold out there, even though we're in the tropics. Essentially, anywhere that you go to dive, you're going to be hard pushed to find water that's warmer than body temperature. And what that means is if you're immersed in the water for a tech dive, and that can be, 2-3 hours, that your body is constantly fighting to stay warm and stave off hypothermia. So that's why for me, priority number one after my team is back on board safely and all of our equipment is stored, is to get warm and start the recovery process. And that's why I'm such a massive fan of my water parka. Having a Surf Fur Water Parka has improved my post-dive routine immensely. Wetsuits work fantastic in the water. They trap water against your body warms that water up, and it keeps you snug. But as soon as you surface, that wetsuit is useless. All it's doing is holding cold water against your body. And I see divers all the time, they come up from a dive and they sit back down on the dive boat and they don't take their wetsuit off, and then they wonder why they're shivering. For me, as soon as I'm back on board, I get that wetsuit off, I put my water parka on, it's breathable, so I'm warming up without breaking a sweat, and it's just fantastic. So even here in tropical Miami, all year round, I have my water parka with me, even if I just throw it on for 5 minutes in the summer after a dive, just to take the chill off. Technical diving is a very equipment intensive sport, and I'm super picky about the gear selection decisions that I make. I'm so happy with my water parka that it's pretty much the first piece of gear I pack, no matter what the dive is.